Hi guys, how y'all doing out there? I'm Doug Best from the Doug Best Show. And today I want to talk again about the Keisha Thomas situation. I've been reading, I've been studying, I've been watching, I've been looking everything that they talking about in the mainstream media about Miss Thomas, Keisha Thomas. She's the Fresno School Board trustee for Area 1. We got two other people, actually three other people's running right now. Darian Miller, excellent guy. Deshauna Ricks, beautiful, very intelligent Dr. Deshauna Ricks. And then the rumor has it that the present city councilman, Miguel Arias, is running. But guys, let me just bring you up to speed about what's going on real fast. I talked to my friend today, David. Man, we've been friends for years. Actually, we had a heated conversation. And he had said, Doug, don't get on your podcast and talking about Keisha Thomas. The conversation, I really respect Dave. I've been knowing him for 20, 30 years. But, man, don't never tell me nothing like that. If the mainstream media could talk about Keisha Thomas just because she black, I can't talk about it. I could be fair and I could be objective. I could be hard and I could explain everything and articulate it just as well as they do on KMJ, Talk Radio. I've been listening to them all day. A Channel 24, a Channel 30, a Channel 47, a GV Wired. But let me bring you guys up to speed. First, I want you to hear this, and then we're going to go forward. I'm Doug Best of the Doug Best Show, and I want everybody to tune in, especially for the black people. Because, Ms. Thomas, I don't know whether you're guilty or you're not guilty, or whether you told the truth or you didn't tell the truth. But me, as a black man being here in this city, and as a podcaster, it's my job and my responsibilities when I see something to talk about it and be as fair and as objective as I possibly can. Everything is alleged. She's not looking to go to jail. This is for money, up to $20 million. You guys listen to this first.
More time, because I have it. I have it just in case you wanted to remember what it sounded like, Keisha Thomas.
I haven't been to Bullard High School as a student in 30 years. But then my son, my middle son, goes to football practice where he has Arax calling him a nigger, and he decides he's not playing for Bullard anymore. Okay, and he ends up playing it.
Could you tell audience, it said Arax. Who is Arax?
Yeah. Oh, he's a football coach at Bullard.
Okay, so she makes this statement, but then she comes back and says she never made that statement. And so that's a flat out lie. I mean, where are the adults in the...
Okay, guys, y'all stay with me. We're going to go back to that in a second. I'm Doug Best on the Doug Best Show, and this is the exact reason why I created the Doug Best Show. In the city of Fresno, we got maybe 500,000 people in the city. 7.2% of the people, the population is black people. And then with Miss Keisha Thomas, from what I could see, she is the only person in a position of power that's sitting in the rooms with the power right now. And she was running for District 3, or she's running for District City Council, District 3. I helped her put signs up, a lot of signs, because I believed in her. I believe in her. I don't know whether she's right or whether she's wrong in this situation, but let me just bring the public up to speed. I'm Dougie. I'm your friend here on the Doug Best Show, and that's the issue about Keisha Thomas. They had a football coach at Bullard High School. You guys stay with me. I'm going to see if I can articulate it and clear the picture up so everybody out there can understand it. Miss Keisha Thomas, she's a black lady. The coach, Coach Don Arax, A-R-A-X, he was a football coach at Bullard High School. And it was a little situation there where they said that in the weight room, somebody was in there was wearing something that looks like the Ku Klux Klan hat, a kid, and somebody else said that it wasn't. But at any rate, Miss Thomas and the coach got into a little spat. And Miss Thomas went on GV Wired, a podcast, and they talked about it. I'm going to play it again. And she said that her son told her that allegedly, that Coach Don Arax called him a nigger. You know, the white people gonna always say the N-word, but it's that's what she's saying. That's the whole thing's all about. This happened in May of 2022. I'm Doug, baby. I'm on the Doug Best Show, and we talking about it. That's the job of the podcaster, to talk about whatever issues that comes up. It don't matter if it's Barack Obama, he's a black guy, and then Donald Trump, we can only talk about Donald Trump. Or it could be Miss Keisha Thomas. We can't talk about her or the issue because she's black. No. Hell no. Never. That's what the Doug Best Show is about. To be fair, to be objective, but to be hard and make sure that we ask the hard questions. So back in May of 2022, Ms. Thomas goes on the podcast, GV Wired, and I just played it for you. I'm going to play it again multiple times here while we're here on the podcast. And she said that her son told her that coach called him a nigger. The white people going to always say the N-word, but that's what they say. Said that the coach called him a nigger. And the coach said, no, he did not call him a nigger or the N-word. And so as I read more, the principal of the school got involved, and from what his investigation supposedly showed, that Coach Arax wasn't even there that particular day to be able to be called Miss Keisha Thomas' middle son. I think his name is Albert Alford. Make sure that I got the name right. It's her middle son. Okay, so it goes back and forward. And for some reason, the coach, either he got fired or he got terminated or he quit, but he left Bullard. In the meantime, Miss Thomas, she is the Fresno Educational Board trustee. And so this guy, Arax, he files a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit. He's saying that, she tarnished his name. This is the allegation. I don't know whether she tarnished his name or not, but that was the allegation. So this is going back 4 years ago. So they go back and forward in the court. And then the Fresno Unified School get involved. And so they've been paying the bills. So from what I read, they up to $350,000 now in legal bills. Second thing, you got to have insurance. So what ended up happening, so the insurance then went up to over $1.5 million from what I done read. So they almost at $2 million defending this situation right here, where Miss Thomas says that her son said that the coach allegedly, I got to make sure I put that in so he don't try to sue me, allegedly called him a nigger. But on the mainstream media, they going to always say the N-word. But the whole thing is all about Miss Thomas' son supposedly told her that the coach called him a nigger. Maybe a week or so ago, he goes in, he have a sworn deposition. That means, you go and you talk to a bunch of lawyers and you swear under the oath of the Constitution that you're going to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then the kid, he's not a kid no more. He's 26 years old. They saying that this situation where allegedly Coach Don Arax had used the nigger word was way back in 2013. Stay with me, guys. And so 2013, 14 years ago, the kid said he can't, that Miss Thomas is saying that her son came home and told her that the coach used the N-word. So they go back and forward. And so what the issue is right now, by the son, Albert, saying under oath that the coach did not say that. And in the meantime, the city of Fresno School Board, then spent almost $2 million defending the situation by $350,000 in attorney fees. And they had to up the premiums on the insurance that, these different cities, when they do get sued and they lose money, they don't pay the money out of your pocket. It's an insurance company that pays that. So they had to get a bigger policy. So a few days ago, her son, Albert, he changes everything. He says that I lied to my mom. I didn't tell her the truth. But for 4 years, actually last year, Miss Thomas seemed like she was changing her situation a little bit last year. But a week or so ago, Albert, he changed his whole story, says he's lied to his mom. But for 4 years, this coach, Don Arax, his whole character, his whole reputation, everything has been tarnished. In the meantime, he has a lawyer. The Fresno Unified and Miss Thomas, they've been going back and forth with the court system. And the courts turned against Miss Thomas. They would not take her off the list where she says, I no longer want to be a defendant in this procedure. But 3 years, everything started with her and her son, Albert. So you guys stay with me. I'm Doug Best. I'm a black guy. Miss Thomas is a black woman. Her son is a black man. The coach is a white man. So I'm going to talk about it in a way that everybody can understand it. I'm not finna use no legal mambo jumbo. The coach is supposed to call the son a nigger, and that's where everything started at. So in the meantime, being that the son came out, I'm not sure whether he threw her under the bus or for some reason, he had a change of heart. But he said that the coach never, ever said that. He's saying 14 years ago, his friend told him while they were going to some kind of camp, a football camp. The son never went to Bullard. He was going to a summer football camp. And the friend told him that the coach had called somebody a nigger. So apparently, allegedly, Albert, Miss Thomas' middle child, decided that he wasn't going to go to Bullard. He never was going to Bullard anyway. He was never a student of Bullard. Never. So in his freshman year, he ended up going to Edison, my old home school. I'm an Edison Tiger. So here we are. So today, the Fresno Teachers Association is asking for Miss Keisha Thomas to resign. Second thing, the Fresno Unified School District is trying to say, hey man, that's enough is enough. We done spent $350,000 defending this situation. And we done had to raise our premiums up, the payments to about $1.5 million. So they almost at $2 million. And then a week ago, Miss Keisha Thomas' son comes out and says, I lied to my mom. And so what's going on, guys? So the white people, I'm going to talk to you like that so you can understand it. And the mainstream media has got Miss Thomas in a situation where they grinding her up. And then, guys, look, not only that, they asking her to resign from being a trustee for Fresno Unified School, asking her to resign. But in the meantime, black people, we stuck with you, Miss Thomas, so stay with me, guys. You on the Doug Best Show. We stayed with you. And now, in November the 3rd, it's going to be a runoff between Miss Thomas. You guys stay with me. It's going to be a runoff between Miss Thomas and the other guy, Dr. Joaquin Aramala. And they running for District 3, City Council District. Okay, guys, stay with me. I'm gonna try to draw all the points in. And so now the question is, Miss Thomas, I know you're gonna hear this. Everybody gonna hear it because I'm a black person and I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm independent and I could tell the truth. This is why I put this show together. Every time we get anybody here on the podcast that might have a little position of power, I says, who got access to those rooms so they could go in there and speak for us, black people? So we had Miss Thomas, or we got Miss Thomas as a trustee. But now the people in positions of power is asking her to step down. The Fresno Teachers Association is saying, we want you to resign. Fresno Unified School District is saying, we're not going to pay no more money. But I'm not sure they're able to do that because, they've been defending her and they've been a part of this whole play for the last 4 years. So they got themselves in a pickle. And Miss Thomas got herself in a pickle. But Miss Thomas, I'm going to talk to you just for 1 second. I'm speaking as a black person. I'm a black man. And I'm here in this community. I'm here in this city. We trusted you. Now, so the question is, I don't know whether your son lied to you or whether whatever happened for political expediency, you said whatever you said. I don't know. But as a podcaster, as a media person, there's no other black media There's no other black media platforms in this whole city but the Doug Best Show and Floyd Harris and Miss Arlene Reed. There ain't nobody else. You got Channel 24, you got Channel 30, you got Channel 47, you got KMJ and all those other GV Wired. You got those, but then for the black people, we don't have them. But so with the black people, we trusted you. So at one point in time, Miss Keisha Thomas, listen to me. I'm not against you. But I know I'm looking at you right now. I'm looking and I'm seeing exactly what the mainstream media is doing to you. I'm not against you. But I'm saying at one point in time, you're going to have to come out and talk to the people. You're not going to be able to run. Listen, you're not going to be able to run for City Council District 3 and just hide and not say nothing. If you do that, that means a Ramla just walks right in. And Miss Jalen Swain and Larry Burrows and all the other people that just ran, everybody trusted you and they gave you, me too. I was on here pushing to make sure that you got the votes. But now, at one point in time, Miss Thomas, you're going to have to come talk to the public. You have to come clean. I don't know when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, but I'm asking you. Would you come to the Doug Best Show and talk to the community, the whole city? You see what mainstream media is trying to do to you right now. You see it. I see it. Everybody see it. But I'm going to give you a fair shot, but I'm going to ask you the real questions. It can't be because you black and I'm black that I'm not going to ask the hard questions. I don't care if Barack Obama was sitting there and President Donald Trump was sitting there, or the Honorable Jerry Dyer was sitting there, or Miss Swearingen was sitting there. I'm going to be nice, courteous, and polite and charming, but I'm going to ask the hard questions. So, Miss Thomas, we're asking you, whenever you do decide, you're going to have to come forward sooner or later and talk. Would you come be on the Doug Best Show and talk about it? Okay, guys. So what's it all about? A white coach allegedly called Miss Thomas Son a nigger. The N-word. That's how the mainstream media are going to talk about it. And so now they're grinding her up. And so the guy, the gentleman, the Coach Arax and his team and his legal team, in August, they're trying to go to arbitration and try to get this thing settled. They are asking from between $9 and $20 million. And the city, Fresno Unified, is sick and tired of this. They don't know what to do, but they know that maybe Miss Thomas might have to pay some money, or maybe together the Fresno Unified is out to pay some money. But this guy, Arax, from what I could see, and I've been studying and studying and studying and studying, from what I could see, by when her son said that this guy didn't say nothing, it's hands down, baby. Now, technically, it could be some technical mumble-jumble that Miss Thomas could say I was a public figure. And then, under the color of the law, it could be something that says that, I didn't have no malicious intent. I didn't have no malice. I wasn't biased or whatever. But if I was on a jury, and I love you, Miss Thomas, I'm not going to be against you, but I got good common sense. If I was on a jury, she's not going to jail. This is for the money, baby. This is for the money. And you could believe that Coach Arax and his team, man, they jumping up in joy. And for her son, Albert, to come and say on a sworn statement, a declaration is what they call it, that the coach said nothing. But in the meantime, black people, us, Miss Thomas, listen to me. We trusted you. I could guarantee you that most of the votes that you got were from most of the black people in the city of Fresno. So we, all of us, not only just the black people, we deserve an explanation. And you're going to have to come out sooner or later. So either you're going to keep fighting and not say nothing, but it's already apparent that the Fresno Teachers Association said you got to go. But they're not using that word. They're saying you got to resign. And then for District 3 City Council, I got to be honest with you, little mama. I got to tell you the truth. It's going to be very, very difficult for you, Miss Keisha, for you to win. Now that they done tarnished your name. So you came in second place You came in second place. So the runoff is going to be in November. And then this gentleman right here, Aramla, he's from around the corner, right here close to San Pablo. My kid's mom knows him from right over on San Pablo in the Belmont area over there. He's a Mexican guy. He's running against Miss Keisha Thomas for District 3. But now, so the question is, do he automatically win? Or is Miss Keisha Thomas, is she going to resign and says, you know, I'm just going to quit the school. I'm going to resign from the school board, and then I'm going to quit running for District 3? I don't know what she's going to do. But sooner or later, you're going to have to make a decision. I'm just asking you, man, to show us, the black people who done had your back for all these years, to come get on a black podcast, the Doug Best Show. And when you do come talk to the people, Keisha, I'm asking you that. Every black person in the city is going to see this. I'm going to make sure. I just want, so you know for a fact, everybody know for a fact, they trying to grind you up to sausage right now. Because them white people don't want to go and pay that $20 million. They're going to have to pay this guy. They're going to have to pay this guy. And sooner or later, you're going to have to come in front of the public and tell the public something. You're going to have to do it sooner or later. I'm Doug Best, baby. I'm from the Doug Best Show. And so before we go, Miss Keisha Thomas, I'm asking you, somebody going to give her this. Somebody Ramla going to see this. The Honorable Mayor Jerry Dye going to see this. The people at KMJ, they're going to see this. The people at GV Wired, they're going to see this. All the people on Channel 24, Channel 30, Channel 47. But I'm asking you, Keisha, when you do come out, would you come and be on a black show for the black people that had you back? For me, that had my crew go and put these signs up when you do come out? Would you come out and be on this show, you know, and explain exactly what you're going to explain? Because sooner or later, you're going to have to explain it. Okay, guys, you guys just stay with me 1 second right here. I want you guys to hear this one final time. I'm Doug Best from the Doug Best Show. Okay, and I'm going to take this back. Okay, you guys just stay with me one time. Let's let this just boot up. And this would
Miss Arax.
Yep. He's a football coach at Bullard.
Okay, so she makes this statement, but then she comes back and says she never
Listen.
made that statement. And so that's a flat out lie. I mean, where are the adults in the room here? Just making false statements. Number two, by the way, you know, there's a lot of cleaning up to do with that soundbite alone, because many people thought that her son was on the Bullard High School football team.
Hold on, I'm going to take it back
he
just
was
a
never,
little.
yes, right, just
Analysts.
you wanted to remember what it sounded like, Keisha Thomas.
Listen to
I
him.
haven't been to Bullard High School as a student in 30 years. But then my son, my middle son, goes to football practice where he has Arax calling him a nigger, and he decides he's not playing for Bullard anymore. Okay, and he ends up playing it.
Could you tell our audience, it said Arax. Who's Arax?
Yep. He's a football coach at Bullard.
Okay, so she makes this statement, but then she comes back and says she never made that statement. And so that's a flat out lie. I mean, where are the adults in the room here? Just making false statements. Number two, by the way, you know, there's a lot of cleaning up to do with that soundbite alone.
Yeah, guys. And then we're going to close here in a second here. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to close and make Miss Thomas look bad. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes, you know, in this life, you know, we do things and our intentions might be noble, but it turns out that, you know, that it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to turn out. And listen to me. And I played that thing a couple of times so you guys can understand what it's all about. A white coach allegedly called Miss Thomas' son a nigger. She got on the social media and called his name out. And I'm not sure whether he got fired because of that or whatever it is. He's not there. He's suing her. And he's suing Fresno School, Unified School. Now, the people from Fresno Teachers Association asking Miss Thomas to resign. I don't know what she's going to do. But in the meantime, people in District 3, they selected Ms. Thomas as a candidate for City Council District 3. It's going to come up in November. But in the meantime, this issue came up, and it's going to be very difficult for her to win. And then Aramala, Dr. Aramala, he's running for that same district, City Council District 3. But in the meantime, we got 3 people that's running for the seat that Ms. Thomas have now. We got 3. We got Dr. Deshauna Ricks, she's running, and Darian Miller, he's a doctor, but I don't have a sign for him. And then the rumor is that the District 3 City Council member right now, Miguel Arias, is running for her seat right now. But we don't know what's going to happen, man. Something always happened in this world, and now in the political grinder, they got Miss Thomas. We going to wish you well. Me and my senorita wish you well. You know, I'm a straight shooter. I wish you well. But right now, it's not looking too good for my sister. It's not looking too good for my sister. Guys, I'm Doug Best from the Doug Best Show. And so, Ms. Thomas, I'm not sure whether you're going to resign or not, but we got Ms. Ricks, she's running, Darren Miller's running, and they say that the city councilman Miguel Arias is running for the same educational trustee seat, Area 1. In the meantime, you guys just keep tuning in with me. And I just want you to know I'm always going to give everybody a fair shot. But you ain't getting no pass just because you black or I know you. Ain't no passes. We're going to always be fair. We're going to always be polite, always be courteous, always be informative. But I'm Dougie, baby. I'm your friend. This is the Doug Best Show. I want everybody out there to start tuning in and listen to me. I'm going to get guests on here. I'm going to get more guests on, and I'm going to become a bigger part of the media environment. Okay, guys. Ms. Thomas, we wish you well. We wish you well. And for the city of Fresno Unified, somebody going to have to pay this man. It sounds like this guy, the coach, Coach Arax, it sounds like somebody did him wrong. He got kids, he got a wife, he got all that stuff. Okay, guys. I'm Dougie, baby. I'm your friend. And I'll see you guys soon. Y'all keep tuning in. Thanks. Go to the Doug Best Show on YouTube and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.